welcome back to our space to retreat, relate, and rejuvenate. And y'all, this is the first video of the new year. It has been a season. It has been one of the, I would say, most challenging seasons of my life. Yet, the more I keep walking and going through it, it's becoming more clear and it's becoming more purposeful. And not, I feel now more so than I did when I was in it, of course, and I'm still in it. But you know what I mean? Now that I'm coming out on the other side of it, because I feel more clear. So that's why I'm going to say I'm coming out on the other side of it. But I see now that it was not wasted. And I believe those cliches, let's just get them on out the way, where people say, you know, God turns your pain into purpose. And he, which I'm going to get into that in a minute. He turns your misery into ministry and all these things. And I just wanted to come on and encourage you all. I know you may have been doing your vision boards, or you may have been thinking about what's your word for this year. You may have been, you know, just kind of trying to plan out your year and things like that. And I want to encourage you to continue to do those things. But I want to share with you some things that's been on my heart that God has just been giving me in just my season of just stepping away and discerning, and just a fasting and praying. And so I really want you to understand that the things that we are going through, yes, some of them are self-inflicted. Let's just get that out the way right now. You know, we bring some of this stuff up on ourselves. We bring some of it on ourselves. But we still serve a God who will turn those things into good for our good and for those who we come in contact with. And so I love that statement to a point where he turns our pain into purpose. But the thing is, God already has orchestrated some things that we're going to be going through because it is a part of our purpose. It's a part of our assignment. It's where he wanted us to be at this certain time in our journey. And something that has just been really in my head as I've been going through a season, I'm like, God, okay, come on now. Next phase. Or, you know, we're going to do this again? Okay, I did something wrong. You know, those moments that I'm going through like that with God, he has really been showing me, and I've been hearing this message over and over and over again, that God is not concerned with the destination. He's concerned with our character. Y'all, I was trying to find my fancy word to start out this year. But anywho, but basically God is concerned with our character, y'all. He's concerned with, are we ready to grow into the thing that he has already prepared us for? We'll talk about some things this year, going more deeper into like some real deep stuff that we need to get rid of and bring to the light and to just call out, because it's really not that hard and it's really not that bad when we look at it. And so God is doing this work within each and every one of us that has already been orchestrated for our good. And I want us to be encouraged that whatever season you're in, even though this is a fresh new year, you may still be in a certain season that you're like, okay, when is my this coming? You know, or when am I going to be at the next phase? Or you may be in a season of you feeling encouraged and you're feeling like, okay, yes, we're going to start fresh. Wherever you are, I just want to remind you that your steps have already been orchestrated. I know the world talks about taking control of your life or manifesting things, but I really want us to remind ourselves that the intentionality happens as we are connected to God. This world is, I believe, up for revival. I believe that God is calling his people to wake up and step up. And I know that I want to use this platform, especially for us sisters who are so busy serving. But the thing is, we're serving on reserve, or we're either serving out of resentment. And I really want us to handle some of this stuff this year and moving forward, because I know that each and every one of us, of course, our steps are ordered, but we have a ministry inside of us. Your assignment is so prevalent. It's so in your face. And sometimes it's hard for us to see it because we're stuck on the past, or we're stuck on where we want to be, or we haven't just even been honest with where we are now. We haven't been honest with saying, God, this is what I feel. God, this is what I want. And I really want us to start to go through these processes together. So I'm working on some stuff behind the scenes for us, but I also just really wanted to come on and encourage you to just keep moving, sis. Even when you rest, or you take a moment to stop and see God's wisdom and hear the Spirit talk to you as you're reading your word and you're discerning with the community, I really want you to remember that God is intentional and that God responds to our obedience. And obedience is action. And so I'm not going to go too deep into that tonight, but I just want to leave this on you that that's the word I've been hearing for the last few months. Is obedience. I've been hearing this word for a while, and I believe that it's a word that a lot of us need to really understand what it means, especially me. So I'm really trying to do some deep dives into where I am. And to be honest, because like I say, we're serving a lot of people and we're serving and doing this and doing that, but where is that coming from within? Is it coming from a space of overflow? Or is it coming from a space of resentment or reserve? That's like, okay, I'm going to do this because it's what I'm supposed to do. This is my role. This is who I am. We want to help everybody else, but in helping everybody else, are we kind of putting ourselves to the side because it's easier to serve out than to serve ourselves and to really honor where we are and to give that to God. So I really think that this year is awakening phase where we're really going into revival. God's people, it's time for us to step up. I say this, and I know some people push back on it, but we are the influencers of the world. We are the lights. We are the salt. Those are not options if you choose to be a follower of Jesus. Like Satan is, this whole thing that we're in right now is a mind game. This is his whole agenda. We're going to break down Satan's agenda, especially as it comes to us women, because we want to get in order to help our families and be aligned with our families and to serve our families the way God wants us to, so that we can serve our communities and so that we can then change the world. But we got to wake up to where we are inside. We're going to look at self-care differently this year. We're going to look at the self-love journey, and we're going to look at purpose and things differently this year because it's right in our face. But I think we have just been cluttered or with things that aren't just bad all the time, but we've been cluttered with things that are also good, but it's in the way of God trying to show us what he needs us to do right now and then where he's trying to take us. And I'm just so excited. I'm trying not to say too much, but going into where we're going to go into this year with this mind game, y'all. But I want us to first just remember, God is an intentional God. And wherever you are, even if you are confused, keep moving. Keep asking God questions. Even if the question is, God, what do you want from me today? What are you asking me to do? What do you have for me? Why do you have me in this season? Why do you have me with this family, in this job, in this neighborhood? Why do you have these certain people around me? What am I supposed to be doing with this? Simple questions like that. Asking God, what's something I need to kind of see about myself? But like I say, I'm not going to get too far into everything. But remember that God is a God of intention. And so therefore, we need to be intentional. And so we need to be asking certain questions so that we can obey, so that he can carry on the process through us, because he's going to keep taking us back to where he needs us to be until we are obedient. Because if you look in the Bible and different, pivotal leaders and people in the Bible that we study, they were people who had to obey. They were people of action. We're going to talk about faith. I love this, how God works, because he's been sending so many messages that have been in my heart, and he's been like literally putting them in the atmosphere around me. I believe that because I'm asking those questions and having these real conversations with God, he's been dropping it right in our face. But now we are aligned, and my eyes are open and ready, and my heart is open to see what he has already been laying out for me. And there's more to that process as well that we'll talk about. But I'm just so excited to see this year revival, because it's gonna get a little rough. But I love that when people say the fight is fixed. We already know we win. We just got to figure out our strategies. We just got to figure out how we're going to go about this and how we're going to encourage each other to stay on the battlefield, because it's a little too much going on out here. And it's time for us to do what we're supposed to do, because we can't blame the world for doing what it was supposed to be doing. It's supposed to be chaotic. But what we need to do is fall in line and to be the real light carriers and bearers of the world, to show them like, no, there's more, there's better. They just trying to get in your head. Satan is trying to do a work in you. Trust me. But we have got to line up and believe it first and do some work with us first. So I'm just excited to see how this year is going to go for all of us. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so. I would love to hear what's some things you all have been struggling with. What's some things you want to talk about this year? Have you found out your word for this year? Are you a person who does goals? Do you need help with making goals? Because we're going to do goals, but there's a little more things. There's more things we have to do besides just having goals. And so what is something that you're struggling with, or something that you want help with? What do you want this community to talk about? Please leave it all below, because I mean, this is the year we're going in. We're going in this year, you guys. And I'm so excited to join back with you all. I have decided that I'm not going to let just my career stop me from doing what God has called me to do, because even with me walking in my career, I'm going to stay with my career, because God has shown me, going back again in this season, I've been just asking questions. He has shown me why he has me where he has me at my job. And so I'm still curious about that, and I'm just going to be obedient. Even if I said that's not what I wanted to do, but I'm going to walk it out and be obedient with him until he moves me to the next phase. So we're about to walk this thing out together, y'all. So I'm really excited. No, I do not have my word completely yet. I keep hearing God tell me certain things, but I just want to be really intentional about it. I want you to understand, if you haven't done a vision board yet, just keep being intentional with the process of talking to God. Be intentional with the process of sitting down and listening. Check out the girl prayer. I have a freebie that I'll leave below, but check out real soon. I'm going to be posting some other things so that you will have the extra resources in your hands that you can take this process with me, because y'all, we do nothing but rising. We are rising in the power that God has already given us. And we're going to do that by pausing the grind, plugging into God, and pamper yourself, girl. All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.